The room was filled with an unusual tension that day. Everyone had gathered to see Marlene Holt, known for her sharp mind and fearless personality, face off against Arionne, a rising star who had been making bold claims about his skills and knowledge. Whispers ran through the crowd. Some people were curious, others skeptical, because everyone knew Marlene had a reputation for leaving people speechless with her words. Arrion, confident and slightly arrogant, took his place and looked directly at her, as if daring her to respond. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation, and it felt like even time had slowed down. People leaned forward in their seats, waiting for the first words to drop, knowing that whatever Marlene said next could completely change the mood of the room. Nobody expected the calm, precise, and revealing words she was about to deliver. Words that would shock Arrion and leave the entire audience stunned. Before the tension reached its peak, it was important to understand who these two personalities really were. Marlene Holt had built her reputation over years of dedication, known for her honesty, intelligence, and the ability to stay calm even in high-pressure situations. People trusted her opinions because she always spoke from experience and never exaggerated. On the other hand, Arionne was ambitious and eager to prove himself. He had charisma, but sometimes his confidence bordered on arrogance. Today, he was attempting to challenge Marlene in front of a live audience, hoping to make a name for himself by questioning her credibility. The stage was set, the audience was watching closely, and every eye was on the two of them. The air was thick with curiosity. Would Marlene respond carefully, or would Arionne's boldness catch her off guard? Little did everyone know, this encounter was about to turn into a moment that no one would forget. The moment arrived when Arrion finally spoke, his voice carrying a mix of confidence and challenge. "Marlene, I respect your experience, but don't you think some of your ideas are outdated?" he asked, smirking slightly, as if expecting a weak response. The audience shifted in their seats, sensing the underlying tension. Some exchanged surprised glances, while others held their breath, wondering how Marlene would react. Instead of reacting angrily or defensively, Marlene took a calm, steady breath. Her eyes met his, and for a moment, the room seemed to pause. The silence made the tension almost unbearable, and the crowd could feel it. Arionne's boldness had been meant to shake her, but Marlene's composed presence only amplified the suspense. It was clear that something powerful was about to happen, and everyone leaned in, waiting for the moment when she would respond. The energy in the room was electric, like the calm before a storm, and it was impossible to look away. Marlene smiled slightly, not out of mockery, but because she knew exactly how to handle the situation. "Arrion," she began, her voice calm but filled with authority, "experience isn't about following trends, it's about understanding what actually works and why. You may have energy and ideas, but true results come from knowledge, patience, and insight." She paused for a moment, letting her words sink in, while the audience reacted with murmurs of agreement. Then she revealed a detail that completely stunned everyone, even Arrion. "In fact," she continued, "the project you've been bragging about failed quietly last year because the foundation was never properly prepared. It's not a criticism, it's a lesson in what happens when preparation is ignored." The room went silent for a heartbeat, then erupted into whispers and surprised reactions. Arionne's confident smile faltered, replaced by visible shock, as he realized Marlene had completely anticipated his approach and had dismantled his point with calm, undeniable facts. The audience couldn't stop talking about it, and it was clear that Marlene had not just answered him, she had completely shut him down in a way no one would forget. As Marlene finished speaking, the room was filled with a mix of awe and admiration. People were whispering, some nodding in agreement, while others replayed her words in their minds, clearly impressed. Arrion stood frozen for a moment, trying to regain his composure, but it was too late. He had been outmaneuvered by her calm precision and insight. Some audience members quietly praised her wit, while others openly clapped, recognizing the power of her response. The conversation didn't end there. Soon, social media channels, even fictional colleagues in the story, started discussing the exchange. Tweets, posts, and messages praised Marlene for her professionalism, intelligence, and ability to stay composed under pressure. In contrast, Arionne's boldness, which had once seemed impressive, was now overshadowed by her undeniable clarity and experience. The encounter became the talk of the day, not because of conflict, but because of the respect Marlene had earned by handling it with grace and intelligence. As the crowd slowly settled, it became clear that this encounter was more than just a debate. It was a lesson in confidence, preparation, and composure. Marlene Holt had shown that true strength doesn't come from loudness or aggression, but from knowledge, clarity, and the ability to stay calm under pressure. Arionne, despite his energy and ambition, had learned that confidence alone cannot replace experience and careful thought. The audience left with a lasting impression. Sometimes, the most powerful response is not a heated argument, but a composed, well-thought-out answer that speaks for itself. And in that room, for everyone watching and listening, Marlene's words became a reminder that respect is earned not by shouting the loudest, but by standing firm, thinking wisely, and delivering truth with poise. It was a moment that would be remembered, discussed, and admired for a long time, leaving a sense of inspiration that went beyond the clash of personalities.